Welcome to HogHype. I'm Cierra Clark alongside Kevin Luthringer and John Nabors from our Locked On Razorbacks podcast. We've got the BYU game ahead of us. Guys, how are we feeling after the last two games? The Hogs are 2-0, but so are the Cougars.
Take it away.
Well, I mean, it's really hard to really feel good about it right now. I mean, when you can't effectively run the ball, and that's supposed to be the bread and butter of this team, and the offensive line can't block very well, which Sam Pittman is an offensive line guy, it's hard to be optimistic, but it's not to say that it's not fixable. They still have great players. They still have an improved defense. They have a lot of things about them that's really good. We just need to actually see it in action, hopefully against BYU.
Yeah, I mean, 2-0 is where you want to be, but it doesn't really feel like we're 2-0. I'm not going into this game feeling like a team that I'm confident in. But as you said, there's ways to change it. You're going against a BYU team who hasn't really beaten anyone either. Neither one of us have beaten anybody yet. So this will let us figure out maybe if we can start making steps because SEC play is coming quick.
And you guys did touch on those offensive struggles where BYU is 10th in scoring defense in the nation amongst FBS teams. So how can the Razorbacks poke a hole through that?
Well, again, I don't think they've played anybody, so that number is low for a reason. But I think it's all going to come down to, you mentioned offensive line play, and that's what I want to see with Arkansas. Sam Pittman, when he got things started here, was we play really hard and we hit people off the ball. And we come out slow every game. I just want to see a game where we come out ready to play at kickoff.
Kind of reminds me in 2015 when Dan Enos was the offensive coordinator and they also had Sam Pittman as the offensive line coach. That year ended up being a great year. Brandon Allen threw for 3,300 yards. Alex Collins rushed for 1,400 yards. But at the beginning, it was tough. People remember that Toledo game in Little Rock and how they just weren't finding a consistency, especially in the rushing attack. I'm hoping it gets started kind of similar to that. Once it clicks, and hopefully it happens against BYU. But it's just been weird seeing the offensive line struggle the way that they have so far.
Definitely has, but also the Razorback offense has been struggling a little bit, but so is BYU's offense. They're 118th when it comes to rushing yards. So do you think that's something that the Razorbacks could take advantage of?
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I mean, the defense needs to improve, but I like what I'm seeing on the defensive end. It's really just going to be, it just comes back to the offense to me. KJ looks great, but we're relying on him to run way too much. We saw what it looks like when we lose KJ, so I'd like to just see him sitting in the pocket throwing a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Arkansas's defense whatsoever. I think that they're going to do a solid job, and I think BYU's defense could be some problematic. We're not going to see the 52-35 score like we saw last year in this game. To me, the X factor is always going to be KJ Jefferson. Yep. If KJ Jefferson has a KJ Jefferson game, Arkansas is going to win. But if he's being forced to throw the whole time and then they drop back and they are able to be very one-dimensional, or if he ends up having to run a lot more because the running backs aren't getting anything going, that could be problematic. But this team's going to go as KJ goes. So if KJ has a great game, Arkansas wins.
All right, so a big game for the Hogs because after this they enter conference play, and we know they've got a tough schedule ahead. So what's your score prediction real quick?
For this one, I'll go Razorbacks 31, BYU 17.
Yeah, I was probably going to go something similar to that, lower scoring. I say Arkansas wins this one by a final score of 28-17, ends up pulling away in the fourth quarter, and they get out 3-0.
I was going to say 24-17 Razorbacks, another low-scoring game for that one. So that'll do it for HogHype. The Razorbacks and BYU will play this Saturday at 6:30 on ESPN. But remember, you can catch all the highlights and recaps on our Hog Zone show on Saturday after our newscast. We'll be right back.